Hi everyone and welcome to a new episode. As usual on Sundays we'll go over all the different farms that I'm in right now, what I'm going to change and which new farms I'm getting into. If you like the sound of that, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe at the end of the video. So a little over 2 weeks ago I started tracking the TVL of the different farms that I'm in. As you can see, I have the dates on the left and at the top I have the name of the farms. Usually all these numbers are the total value locked in the entire project, except for Qi-Dao. There I'm tracking a very specific pool. Otherwise it's the TVL of the project, so not the TVL of the specific farms that I'm in, but the overall TVL. When it comes to the yellow fields, these are the fields that I forgot to fill in on that date, so I just took the average of the previous day and the next day just to fill in the blanks. When we look at the evolution of the TVL, one of them jumps out really clearly, which is Sandman, and it has been performing really well. I didn't think it would hold up its TVL like it has so far, so that's an impressive performance. I wonder how long they can keep this up. When it comes to Qi-Dao and Polycat, they have been going down steadily, and then Polyshield, I am pretty surprised that it's recovering, and then of course we got a new one, which is Singular. As usual, we're starting out with Qi-Dao. Sadly, in the past 2 days, for some reason, the interface doesn't want to load completely, but thankfully I have a solution for this. This old school looking website is VFAT.tools. I'll put a link in the description, and it's an aggregation of different farms on different chains. So what I do is I click on Polygon, then I look up the farm that I'm in, and I might be having problems with the interface. So in this case, it is my click. You connect your wallet and it will load all the different pools. So in this case, Qi-Dao only has 2 pools. So we have the USDC Qi-MATIC pair and then we have the Qi-MATIC pair as well. And over here you can see all the information of the pools and of the tokens in those pools. So currently the price of the Qi token is 0.75 and of course the price of Qi-MATIC is 1. As you can see, I have a total of $960 locked up in the platform, with an APR of 23. So yes, you're seeing it correctly. I pulled out my Qi-MATIC tokens and I only left in my stablecoins. I know there might be better destinations for my stablecoins, and maybe holding stablecoins right now when everything is so bullish is not the best strategy, but I want to leave something in this project because I still believe in this project. And of course we can't forget that I still have all the Qi tokens in the booster. Now the reason why I pulled out my Qi-MATIC tokens is because the value of Qi was going down, and as I said, I wanted to have my LP value at least above $1,000, and I think it hit that $1,000 level, so I decided to stick to the plan and pull out my tokens. Since then the Qi price has gone up a little again, but it's still below or well below that $1 mark, so for the time being I'm going to leave it this way. Of course the APR is still very good. We see 169%, which is still very impressive and very interesting. Next up we have Polycat Finance. As I said in the previous video, I thought that the PAW token would stabilize around that 30-40 cent mark, and it seems like it's doing just that. So yeah, it dumped a lot, and when it comes to the returns in the staking pools, we see that of course everything that has to do with PAW still has a very good return. Of course the token has dumped quite significantly, so I can imagine that people are not jumping up and down to get into these specific liquidity pools. And we can't forget the PAW token is still a farm token, so there is no reason why it can't go down even further. I am, however, surprised a little bit that the price of the fish token has gone down so much as well. Nonetheless, I'm holding on to my fish tokens, and the only useful place to keep them is of course in the fish USDC farm that we have right here on Polycat Finance. Next up is our top performer for the past 2 weeks, which is the Sandman farm. As you can see, the Matic USDC liquidity pair APR has dropped to just above 100%. I think it's still good. I of course already have my return of that 4%, so right now I'm just farming with a profit. And then of course last week I entered the ETH USDC liquidity pair as well, and that one is also still above 185%, so I also recovered my 4% fee there as well. Right now I'm still happy with the price of the native token. I'm still happy with the total value locked, so I'm not going to change anything in here. Next on the list is Polyshield. As we can see, with a very nice graphical representation, We had a huge dump 6 days ago, down to about 7.8 million, and we have been climbing up ever since. When it comes to farms, we are still doing pretty well with 169% APR on our USDC wrapped ETH pair. So again, I'm leaving this one in here as well. Next up, we have our latest farm, which is Singular. So Singular, I think they just launched on Matic. They had been active for quite some time on the Binance Smart Chain, and they're planning to launch on Phantom as well. As we can see, we have some decent liquidity, almost 5 million locked up in here. And personally, I thought they had really interesting farming pairs. As you can see, I chose to take the Link-Matic liquidity pair. I'm getting 175% APR, which is definitely interesting. So I chose Link-Matic because I think Link is lagging behind on the rest of the market. It's still a good amount away from the all-time high, and same for Matic, so I think this is an interesting pair. If the market keeps moving up, I will have a very nice return on the APR, and I should have a nice return on the coins themselves. Next up, we're going to take a look at Avalanche. I know somebody posted a comment and asked me if I could show how you can bridge tokens to the Avalanche network, so I'll do that in a second. In the meanwhile, I had been taking a look at Beefy Finance and at Frost Finance. I've been tracking the TVL there as well. As we can see, Beefy was able to attract quite a decent amount of capital, and then it has stabilized. On the other hand, Frost Finance, they were doing really well in the beginning, and then they dropped when it comes to TVL. Now, very important to know, Beefy Finance is not a farm, it's just a tool that you can use to auto-compound your rewards, and of course they're taking a little cut of that as well. They're active on different platforms. You got Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, and Heco. Very important to know when you use this project, it is that you have to trust the project itself and the underlying project as well. And of course the tokens that you're buying for the liquidity pair. Also important to know, these numbers are APY, so it's not APR. But as you can see, and if you believe in the Avalanche project, there are some nice pairs when it comes to the stablecoin AVAX pair. It will give you over 100% yield. And even the stablecoin pairs, they're doing pretty well here as well. I mean, 41%, 70%, and these on stablecoins. It is definitely interesting. Next up is Frost Finance. Thankfully over here we still have APR. Of course, the best returns are on the Tundra token, which is of course the native farm token. But that is of course the most risky as well. Right now, however, there is not really a farm that I'm super interested in. This one might be interesting with a 1% withdrawal fee and 0% deposit fee. But when it comes to APR, I'm getting better returns on Matic for the time being. Now, before I finish off this video, I do want to circle back to the question that was asked on the previous video. So how do you get started on AVAX and how do you bridge your tokens? So first thing you do is go to the official website, which of course is avax.network. Then you go to individuals and you click on Avalanche Bridge. Now, as we might all know, as soon as you start working on a network, you need something to pay for the gas fee. So on Ethereum, you need Ethereum in your wallet, otherwise you can't do anything. On Matic, you need some Matic in your wallet, otherwise you can't do anything. And of course, on Avalanche, you need some AVAX in your wallet. Now, thankfully, right now, if you convert some tokens, and specifically $75 worth of any token, then you'll get an AVAX airdrop. So basically they're saying if you port over some of your Ethereum tokens to the AVAX network, we'll give you some Avalanche tokens so you can actually use them on the AVAX network. Otherwise you would be bridging the tokens, they would arrive in your wallet and you wouldn't be able to do anything because you don't have any AVAX to pay for the gas fees. So thank you Avalanche for being so friendly and offering us some free tokens so we can start using your network. So for the sake of this video, we are going to transfer 1000 USDC and then see what happens when it comes to gas fees and so forth. So with the current gas prices on Ethereum, the price to convert these tokens is $21. So yeah, it's 2% that I'm giving up. And the next thing we have to do, of course, is just wait. Now, in case you're wondering where these tokens are going, well, basically with the same setup as we have with Matic, your Avalanche address will be the same as your Ethereum address. Of course, it is important that you set up your MetaMask for the Avalanche network. So that means you have to add a custom RPC. Thankfully, the people at Avalanche made a very easy tutorial on how to add a custom RPC to your MetaMask. So basically, I'll put a link in the description, but this is how it goes. So you click on the network button, click on custom RPC, and you just fill in this information. That's the only thing you have to do. It's exactly the same as you had to do with Matic or Binance Smart Chain. If you don't like MetaMask or you just want to use a different wallet, you can of course go to the official website again, which is avax.network, click on individuals, and then click on Avalanche Wallet. Now, if you don't want to pay $23 in gas fees, then of course there is another option, which is buying the AVAX token on an exchange or a centralized exchange. So if you want to know where you can buy the AVAX token, simply go to CoinGecko, type in AVAX, scroll down, and then you will see here some exchanges. So we got Binance, OKX, and if you want to see more, because there are of course more exchanges that offer the trading pairs, click on See All Trading Pairs. There you go, and you see a whole bunch. We got Gate.io, we got Crypto.com, Qcoin, Huobi, and so forth. So yeah, plenty of places where you can buy it. Once you bought the token, you simply withdraw the token and send it to your wallet, which of course is your MetaMask wallet or a wallet that you created on the Avalanche website. As always, I do recommend that you first send over a small amount, for example $10 or $15, just to test that you have the right address and you have everything set up correctly. This way you don't have to panic if it wouldn't work. The last update I want to give you guys is that I had an interest in the game called Star Atlas, so it's also a blockchain game. If you're into space games, you must have heard about EVE Online, so it's similar to EVE Online but then on the blockchain. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool project, so I was looking where I could buy it, and basically Star Atlas is live on Solana, so you could buy it on Raydium. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice. I just bought this token because I thought the game looks cool. I didn't do any analysis on the price. It's still a very new token, so it definitely can go either way. It can dump in the next week, it can go up in the next week, I don't know. I just like how the game looks, I like the potential that it has, so yeah, that's why I bought this token. And of course I couldn't help but taking a look at the farms, and of course it wasn't a big surprise that the APR on these tokens is still very high. So you can buy some Ray tokens if you believe in the Raydium platform, or basically if you believe in Solana. I've noticed that Raydium is pretty good following the price of Solana, so if Solana is going up, Raydium is also going up, Solana going down, Raydium is going down, and so forth. We see that we have 300% APR on these pairs, and we see that we still have over 200% APR on the USDC pairs as well. So the game has two tokens, the same system as we've seen with Axie Infinity. So one token is the governance token and the other token is used in game. So Polis is the token is being used actively in game, and then the Atlas token is the governance token. So in my case, I invested a little bit in both. So I got the Atlas token. On this one, of course, is the most volume, and I still have almost 300% APR. And then, of course, we have the Polis token, and I put this one in a Polis Raydium liquidity pair. So when it comes to farming on Solana, sadly you can't use your MetaMask wallet, so you have to install something else, for example the Phantom wallet. Thankfully, you can also connect your ledger to these wallets, so yeah, definitely take a look at it. In this case, I didn't use a bridge, I just bought the tokens on an exchange, set up my wallet, and then sent some tokens over there, and then I got started. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit much. I talked about 3 different chains. If you got any questions regarding Matic, Solana, or Avalanche, do not hesitate to ask, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't subscribed, now is the time. If you haven't hit that notification bell, now is the time. And if you would like to post a comment just to say hi, please do so, because that will help push this video in the YouTube algorithm. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.